with apologies for being on shaky cam, it's time to start up the next build, which this time around is going to be the last of the large Iron Man kits, the Iron Man Mark 33, the Silver Centurion. Now, unlike Igor, there are a lot of parts, but not as many and nowhere near as big, which is a good thing after dealing with Igor. This one will go together, I suspect, more like the smaller suits did. Should be a good build. We'll see how things go. Okay, much like the Dragon Iron Man armor builds before this one is going very quickly. At this point I have all of the sub-assemblies done. Now, we're going to play a little game called Test Fit. Come on, line the slots up. I'm not gluing any of these together so it'll be easier to paint it, but yeah, those pieces will have to go on after the final assembly, because there's no way to install the legs around them. I didn't even want to line up. Whoa! That might be part of why I didn't want to line up. I had the leg partially pushed out. Yeah, there we go. That one actually wants to try to stay in place. Now, unlike with the Igor suit, the arms on this one will only go on one way. But it's got a leaning forward problem. But that's a basic rough out of the Silver Centurion suit. I opted to use the raised hand with the repulsor and the single blade in the left hand. But at this point, Mr. Stark is ready for paint. Okay, back in the paint room. Let's face it, humid and 30-degree weather isn't good for painting outside. What we have here, after coat of Krylon Brilliant Silver, is a very silver Silver Centurion. Now at this point, I'm going to let this sit for a bit. Got all the pieces in the silver now. At this point I'm going to let this sit for a bit. And then I will go in and do the red with Tamiya Transparent Red. And we'll see how everything turns out. Alright. No longer in the paint biz, because we're done. What I did is I took Tamiya Transparent Red over the torso, gloves, and boots, and majority of the helmet, basically making it like the Silver Centurion armor of the in the comics. The one thing I did do is I added a sheet under him because he was just slightly top heavy, and I was worried about him falling over. The armor's been given a black wash that was wiped down to get the excess off and bring out the details. I love the way the kit was put together. The detail on it I really like. I went in and picked out the arc reactor, the repulsors, and his eyes with white. I left the blade out of the back of his left gauntlet in silver. I told my son when I started working on this was probably going to be the brightest suit of Iron Man armor I'd done, and it looks like I was right. I really like how it turned out. I keep babbling. So instead of continuing to babble, what I'm going to do, as I usually do, is I'll go ahead and put some stills at the tail end of this. And I'll thank you all for watching.